And I know that many of you with long COVID are living in a state of permanent shutdown of your nervous system. And so we're really trying to get the emphasis back to being able to take care of ourselves first rather than the other way around. So some of the things that I do on a daily basis and continuing throughout the day, when I get out of bed in the morning, the first thing that I want to do is really press my feet into the ground. That is going to stimulate as much as possible rest and digest. When our feet are like this, that is going to trigger some type of sympathetic or fight or flight response. So as I get out of bed, and it's very normal for many of us to wake up in sympathetic activation, I'm just going to ground myself as much as possible. I've got bare feet. I'm going to feel the carpet under my feet, or you may have a wood floor, or you may have some type of a rug, and just pushing your feet out, feeling that, bringing your body into rest and digest as much as possible. Then when I'm sitting here at my desk, I have a chair that supports my shoulders and my back. I have something under my feet, and I've got one of those little footrest things that's got kind of bobbly bits on it so that I can get some stimulation of the bottom of my feet, which is grounding and again is activating my central nervous system. We're all slightly different, so these are things to play around with and see what works for you. Mine is slightly tilted up, and like I said, it's got bobbly bits. But you may find that the balls of your feet are the bit that need to be activated. You may find it's the heel, you may find it's the toes. So playing around with a little tennis ball underneath there, or all kinds of other things that you might have, one of those acupressure mats or a bolster or anything like that. Then I've got a rolled up towel that sits in a little spot behind my back. And for me, there's a particular spot that my back needs to be in contact with something a little bit firmer, like an acupressure point that again is bringing my body's arousal down. Usually I have a teeny tiny little weighted blanket on my lap, although I realized that I had dropped that down before I started filming this today. And then there's things that I can do throughout the day, between sessions, between meetings, between phone calls, if I'm noticing that I need to, again, just bring my body back into rest and digest. And the first one, which you may have heard me talk about before, is orienting, and that just means looking around. So I'm incredibly fortunate that right behind my desk is a huge window that looks out across New York City, and these are my close-up glasses for computer work, so I have to take them off to focus outside the window. But if I look around, and I can really see quite a long way, just look and notice. And then if I want to come back into the room, maybe that's actually more for the room even without the glasses, look around, look under the desk, look behind me, so that my nervous system is really getting a sense of all the cues of safety that it needs to keep it in the right spot. And then if I want to look at the computer, then I'm going to go back with these again. And then all kinds of other things that we can be doing throughout the day to continue to support ourselves. I have another rolled up towel here that sometimes I stick under my arms because the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And sometimes we need to support our arms and our shoulders. So sometimes, and you can just sort of see it on camera there, I sit and maybe I adjust the arms of my chair, and I have this under here, or I have it under this side, and I just get a little bit of support there. Sometimes another one that I really like is to take off my glasses altogether, and I like with the palms of my hands, but again, we're all different. Put them on my eyes and then lean forward on my desk for a little while, just giving my eyes some support. You may have seen me on some of the workshops. Sometimes we do the cranial massage, where you can just massage a little bit the back of your neck. But there are hundreds of these things that we can do throughout the day. And you may have a systematic system where you're thinking about, okay, my feet are supported, okay, my hips are supported, okay, my back is supported, okay, my shoulders are supported, okay, my eyes are supported. Or you may just like to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of rocking, you may have seen me do. And whatever it is that works for your body. So the emphasis is listening to your body. What does it need? So, for example, with the putting the towel under my arm, how did I come to that? Well, I tried it in a whole bunch of positions. I tried a big rolled up towel that I could put my arms on here, tried something around my neck or behind my neck, and what I came to was that this little spot here is where my body goes, exhale, relief, relax. And your body is going to tell you something slightly different because we're all different. So trying to get into the habit, and I know it's super tough if we are permanently in fight or flight or in shutdown, that the whatever it is that is there, the energy is really hard to circumvent and get back to what does my body need, listening to my body. That sometimes if we close our eyes and pay attention inwards, all we're getting is the chaos rather than what the body needs. And yet, it is still possible just by trying something. Let me put my feet up on a little acupressure mat. See what I notice changes in my body. Let me put a rolled up towel behind my back. See what I notice changes in my body. And you can pick one thing each day to try, but ultimately what we're trying to put together for each of us is a repertoire of things that we can do to bring our bodies into that safe space, cues of safety as much as we need, as frequently as we need throughout the day. If you notice something that is a sign for you that your body is going into fight or flight or into shutdown, what do I need? Do I need to sit down and do a strategy? Do I just need to put a rolled towel under my arm for a few minutes and sit there? So all of this stuff takes a little bit of time to figure out. And if you are on medical leave right now, if you are working hard on supporting your nervous system, I would challenge you with that one thing per day to use it to be something that figures out your own nervous system for you, so that you are building that plan, that map, that is helping you to get to rest and digest as much as possible, as frequently as possible throughout the day, every day. My apologies, I don't know what's going on with the road noise in the background there, but hopefully you were able to hear me. If not, the closed captions should be on there too. We still have time to sign up for this week's workshop, which is happening tomorrow, Thursday. And if you're not in our Facebook group, do come and join us where we continue discussions like this around strategies that are working. It's a very positive group that is giving you a lot of support and a lot of community and no venting. I hope you have a tolerable week, and I look forward to seeing you again on another Wellness Wednesday. Take care.